Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a recap and the finals of the Texas Pro. As you guys know, Patrick Moore won the show, and I definitely have mixed feelings about this one. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that this was a robbery of any sort. I absolutely do not think that. I can see why Patrick probably won this show, but did I think that this was gonna be the outcome? Absolutely not. I was pretty sure that Regan was going to win, and when Patrick won, I was seriously surprised. If you guys watched my prejudging video, you probably know how I felt. The first impression that I had was that Regan was a clear winner, and then after analyzing pose by pose, I saw that yes, Patrick had a chance of actually winning, but again, I was still so surprised. However, it was relatively close. It is interesting that the top two at Texas Pro were two most aesthetic physiques. Is this a message that IBB is sending to us that open pros gotta be super aesthetic? No, I don't think so. It was just not exactly the deepest lineup. The other guys, who was third? The Colossus Can, basically a newbie. He turned pro like last year, 2 years ago. Then John Jewett, who is almost retired. Then also some new guys like John Arthur Duncan, Louis Breed from UK. So not exactly super deep lineup. And these guys are established bodybuilders, established pros. Regan was top 10 at Mr. Olympia. So was Patrick Moore. They happen to be the most aesthetic guys in this lineup by far. Very aesthetic guys. One of some of the most aesthetic guys, probably the most aesthetic guys in the whole IFBB in the past 10 years. But yeah, they just so happen to be at this show, both at their pretty good, not their best maybe, but very good. And they battled it out, and Patrick ended up beating Regan. Now, if you look at the scorecard, it was actually a 1-point decision, both for prejudging and the finals as well. So in total, it was 2 points, but really it's only 1 point. One judge basically decided that this was going to be Patrick's win. So it was extremely close. And when it's close like this, it's not even like, you can't even make a definite statement that Patrick was better. It just so happened most judges picked him, but it was extremely close. It could have went either way for sure. Now, after the prejudging wrapped up, I saw this video on IG somewhere, on RX Muscle, I think, and I want to play this for you guys and analyze this video, because when I saw this, I was like, damn, Regan is actually much bigger than Patrick, and not only that he's bigger than Patrick, but he actually looks really big overall. This reminded me a lot of Jay Cutler. And I was looking at these two guys, and I actually wasn't looking at these two guys. I was watching it. I was just looking at Regan, right? Because he was so impressive here to me. Look at him. Young Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, 2021, a little bit smaller and more streamlined, but way more aesthetic. Regan's physique is absolutely beautiful, man. Like, find a flaw in this physique and tell me that it's looking ugly. Very, very pretty to look at physique. And also, here, he was definitely better than at Atlanta. He brought better shape, and also like he was fuller, and that's why he looked so much harder and fuller and just so much better. So this was, in my opinion, probably Regan's best. Even though he lost this show to Patrick, I think this is his best of all time. I think he actually made some progress in the past off season. I'm not saying he gained a whole bunch of size, but he added some size here and there, and he was actually conditioned from head to toe. There were lines in his glutes, lines in his quads. Like, you wouldn't say he looked puffy, as usual. He actually had a lot of details. Maybe his body is just maturing with age, but this actually looked very, very good. I was really amazed with how good Regan looked, and again, I thought this was new Jay Cutler. And I was just thinking, man. I actually finally realized, I was saying this before, but at this moment I realized this guy can be a top 5, top 6 Olympian. He can even win the Mr. Olympia title if he was as focused as Nick Walker, for example, or Derek Lunsford. If he gave it all to training, to eating, to taking more gear if it's needed. I don't know, but if he was willing to risk it all, to sacrifice everything for bodybuilding, if that was his sole purpose, I think this guy will be winning the Mr. Olympia title for sure in like 2 years. I can see that because he's that good. He's actually tall. He's like Samson's height. His structure is probably prettier than Samson's. Small waist, good back, good legs, good chest, good arms. Everything is there. Very, very complete physique. He can even get conditioned, as you can see. His glutes are shredded. His hamstrings are dug out completely. I mean, most pros don't have everything. A lot of them lack back, but Regan's back is like his strongest point. He doesn't really have any flaws. He's very complete, very well-rounded. He actually brought pretty good look to this show. However, he didn't win. And if you look at it that way, he actually lost to a guy who was like top 6 to top 8 for the past 5 years this weekend. And the previous weekend, he lost to another guy who was also between 6 and 8 for the past 5 years, James Hollinshead. So, I mean, on paper, this is the worst year Regan had in a while, right? And do I think he is off here? Again, I do not. No. I mean, maybe he could have been slightly sharper and fuller and harder. He can definitely improve. But to me, this is probably the most I was impressed by Regan in any show so far. I mean, maybe the lighting here was very good, and these photos, these videos are also really great. But that's just what I felt like. And he actually looked really good. I love this physique. And Patrick won this show. And I'm here sitting talking about Regan for like 5 minutes. So actually, let's take a look at Patrick as well. Did he deserve to win this show? I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it. He absolutely did deserve it. Here's another video. So apparently, from what I heard, Dave Palumbo said this. Fuad went backstage and told Patrick that he should do the abs and thighs with his legs without really locking the knee. Doing this pose the regular way, just, bending his knees a little bit. So this video is, I believe, from the finals, and they're also saying that Patrick came in improved for the finals, but I don't see a big difference in look. It was pretty similar. I would say that Patrick was sharper. Of course, his tan was better. He had more polish, more shine. If Regan's color was better and had more shine, I think he would win this show because it was that close. But overall, as far as like conditioning and like the dryness, the hardness, yeah, I would say Patrick nailed it pretty much. And this is all Patrick needs to do to actually perform well. He needs to be shredded, man. He talks about how he's bringing different looks to different stages, but whenever he's off, whenever he's fuller, as he would say, he loses the condition and he doesn't look very impressive because he's a smaller guy, obviously. But even with this size that he has when he's shredded, everything just looks much bigger, much better. So finally, nailing the condition here and, being at a show that he can win. He was also very good at the Arnold UK, and he was going against Andrew Jackson and Brandon Curry, so he couldn't have won that show, of course. But at this show against Regan, yeah, he ended up actually winning. Again, I can see the possible reasons why he would actually win this show, and that's probably because he was slightly more conditioned, harder a little bit, not too much, but yeah, he was harder and more conditioned, and that was enough for him to win this show, I guess. And I know this opinion of mine will not be super popular. I know a lot of you cheered for Patrick and wanted to see him finally win. I mean, who would have thought he was going to win a show this year? Like, this is his, 10th show. He's been competing the whole freaking year. I guess that's why fans started loving him, because he's always there. He keeps improving. He keeps progressing. He keeps competing, keeps trying. And finally, he actually managed to win a show. And also, of course, people love him because he actually looks very, very aesthetic. And if you imagine open bodybuilding going into this direction of everybody looking this aesthetic, only maybe a little bit bigger, that does sound good, that does sound appealing, only it's probably unrealistic. So at this show, he had another aesthetic guy, and he was simply a little bit sharper than him, a little bit better, and I guess he won. But in my opinion, I was definitely more impressed with Regan. I mean, I wish Regan was a little bit fuller and harder, and I think he would have won this show, but it is what it is. Regan can go do the Austria now in Europe. He has no problem traveling. He's always traveling the world, so he'll probably go and do that show, get his qualification at that show, unless the Polish freak Damian Kuffel stops him from doing that. But you never know. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure Regan thought this show is going to be an easy show to win for him. However, you know, Patrick improved a little bit and he dominated it. He won. I mean, good story for sure, but do I necessarily agree with the decision? I mean, sure, like, I can't really say anything negative about it. Patrick was very good. It's hard for me to imagine a guy that is losing the back poses by this much to actually end up winning the show. But then I look at the side tricep, in which he looks phenomenal, the side chest also, and some of the front shots. I mean, I don't know. It was definitely very close. He also won the abs and thighs. So even though he's a smaller guy, he still has plenty of muscle. I mean, I said a couple of times that he looks like a classic guy, but here, when he's finally peaked well, when he's shredded and full, he definitely looks more like an open bodybuilder, and he wouldn't be winning pro shows in open bodybuilding if he weren't a freaking good open pro. So, yeah, he's going to the Mr. Olympia. What will he do? What will Patrick do at a Mr. Olympia? That's definitely a question. Can I see him cracking the top 10? I mean, I didn't see him winning a show this year, so he surprised me. Because of that, I think anything is possible. I think if he's nailed perfectly like he is right here, he can definitely take out a bunch of like bigger guys who don't have this nice of a shape and this well-rounded physique. Like, he's also very, very clean, like a very, very clean look, like clean skin. Every little detail is there. Like, you don't see any holes, any flaws. Like, the midsection is perfect, the back is good, the arms look great, the quads are all detailed. He's very, very polished. So is Regan, but Patrick is probably a little bit more. So without having any flaws, really, with enough size and great conditioning and phenomenal shape, he might actually surprise and potentially crack the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. That's not out of the question. Now, there was also this really cool moment right here when Colossus Ken managed to get that third spot here, and he immediately went to his coach, John Jewett, to thank him for this, because he definitely helped him a lot for this show. He almost quit, basically. Ken almost quit after Tampa. I mean, he was questioning whether he should even do bodybuilding, and you know, John accepted him and prepped him for the Texas, and definitely brought him in at his all-time best. And if these guys actually continue working together, I can see a really bright future for Colossus Ken. I was cheering for this guy for a long time. I always thought he had a lot of potential. He just wasn't able to really nail it. Apparently, it was his coach's fault. I mean, I'm not saying that his coach doesn't know what they're doing, but for some reason, this didn't work out. Ken getting with John Jewett, maybe he found new motivation and he started working harder, but maybe it is actually John Jewett that just knows how to pick these guys much better than Ken's previous coach, and they absolutely nailed it. And this was only a couple of weeks after Tampa, like how many? 2 weeks. So if he had more time, if he does more shows this year, I'm sure he can improve, but if he competes next year, I'm pretty sure he's going to win actually his first Mr. Olympia qualification. So once again, Patrick Moore won the show, Regan Grimes second, Colossus Ken third, John Jewett fourth, and John Arthur Duncan fifth, Louis Breed sixth, and Tim Bodesheim actually in seventh, so on. Anyways, good show for sure, really entertaining show, even though the lineup wasn't super deep. There was no Andrew Jack competing or anything like that. It was still very much fun to watch. Two very aesthetic guys, very, very close one to another, 1 point difference, and both have a lot of fans. So you guys tell me down below, what do you think? Do you agree with this result? Are you happy for Patrick? Do you think Regan should have won? Whatever thoughts are, guys, down below in the comment section. And that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.